please hit that subscribe button.
Hey everybody.
Better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody. It's time for another NHL redraft video where I redraft the top 10 picks from different NHL drafts. And this month we have made it to 2006. We started at 2000. We're now all the way up to 2006. And this was a pretty good draft. Not as good as 2003, obviously, or certainly. I still think maybe a little step down from 2005, but 2006 was a good year, and we saw some very, very good players get drafted in 2006. So before we start, I just ask that you please hit that like button and give this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new, as both of those things really, really help out a lot and are very much appreciated. Rare video of me without a hat on. I'm just not wearing a hat right now, not really sure why. No specific reason, but it is rare to see me not having a hat on. But anyway, 2006 NHL Draft, the top 10 picks. We might as well just get into it here. Starting with the first overall pick, which was originally Erik Johnson, who went 1 overall to the St. Louis Blues. He's obviously a defenseman, and he has gone on to have a pretty solid NHL career. Now with the Colorado Avalanche, 776 games played, 80 goals, 223 assists for 303 career points and a -29 rating. Now, Erik Johnson has had a pretty solid NHL career, and he's a good defenseman. However, I don't think he was worthy of being the number 1 overall pick. There were certainly better players drafted in this draft. Number 1 should have been center Jonathan Toews, who originally went 3 overall to the Chicago Blackhawks. Toews has gone on to have a stellar NHL career, becoming one of the best two-way forwards for sure of this current era in the NHL. He's been a great leader, the captain of the Chicago Blackhawks, 3-time Stanley Cup champion, 943 career games, 345 goals, 470 assists for 815 career points, and a +193 plus-minus rating. Obviously, he's played on some very, very good teams. He's a legend in Chicago, and he should have been the first overall pick in 2006. Pick number 2 was originally Jordan Staal, center, went to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Staal has gone on to have a very, very good NHL career. He's now with the Carolina Hurricanes, 961 games played, 225 goals, 312 assists, 437 career points, and a +41 rating. Really, really known for his two-way play, and he was a really good shutdown defensive center back when he first came into the league. And I don't know, he never really exploded offensively, I think the way that people expected him to. But he obviously, 537 career points. I wrote that down wrong, me being dumb again. 537 career points. But, you know, he never really exploded offensively the way people originally thought he would. But he's still got over 500 career points. He's almost to 1,000 career games. He'll hit that next season unless he gets injured. And he's been a good player. However, not exactly 2 overall. I think there were some better players available. Number 2 overall should have been forward Claude Giroux, who originally went 22nd overall to the Philadelphia Flyers, but Giroux never, ever, ever should have been on the board at 22nd overall. I think he should have gone second. 889 career games, 257 goals, 558 career assists for 815 points for Claude Giroux, and a +43 rating. He has more career assists than Jordan Staal does have points. Now imagine Giroux in a Pittsburgh Penguins uniform. That is very weird to think about, particularly now that he's been a Flyer his entire career. He's the captain of the Flyers, and you know all the battles he's had, you know, with Philadelphia against Pittsburgh. But I really think Giroux should have gone second overall and gone there to Pittsburgh instead of Jordan Staal. Number 3 overall, like we said, Jonathan Toews originally went 3 overall to Chicago. We've already talked about his numbers and what a spectacular career he's had. He should not have been on the board at number 3 because he should have gone at number 1. So number 3 should have been Nicklas Backstrom, center, who originally went 4th overall to the Washington Capitals. He could have gone to Chicago at 3. 956 career games played, 343 goals, 684 career assists for Nick Backstrom, and 927 career points, along with a plus 112 rating. Continues to be one of the most underrated players of this generation in the NHL. Absolutely spectacular career. Stanley Cup champion in 2018 with Washington, and just an incredibly talented player. Should have gone at number 3. So that brings us to pick number 4. Nicklas Backstrom was originally picked at number 4 by Washington, like we just talked about. We know his numbers. However, in this redraft, he's not still on the board. So pick number 4 should have been left wing Brad Marchand, who originally went 71st overall to the Boston Bruins. He was a draft steal, to say the least. Marchand has gone on to become an incredible offensive player for the Boston Bruins. He's obviously one of the biggest pests in the league, one of the most hated players in the NHL. But that doesn't stop the fact that he's played 751 career games played in the NHL, scoring 290 goals, 356 assists for 646 career points, and a plus 222 career rating. Brad Marchand has been absolutely incredible for the Boston Bruins. Absolute steal for a 71st overall pick. He should have gone at number 4 to Washington. I believe he is the 4th best player in this draft. Number 5, pick number 5, which originally belonged to the Boston Bruins, where they took right wing Phil Kessel. Phil Kessel has gone on to have a very good career. 1,066 games played, 371 goals, 490 career assists, 861 career points, and a minus 107 career plus-minus rating. Now, he's played on some bad teams in Toronto, particularly. His plus-minus this season was garbage, so that really does affect that. But Kessel's had a very good career. He's obviously won Stanley Cups with Pittsburgh. And, he's been a high-level goal scorer for many years in the NHL. I believe that in the redraft, that pick is perfect right where it is. Boston got that one right. 5th overall, they should have taken Phil Kessel. They did, and he is number 5 again in our redraft here. That brings us to pick number 6, which was originally center Derek Brassard, taken 6th overall by the Columbus Blue Jackets. And Brassard has gone on to play 852 games in the NHL, scoring 182 goals, 297 assists for 483 career points and a minus 25 rating. Now, Derek Brassard's had a very solid NHL career. He was very good at the beginning of his career. He's really fallen off a cliff here the last few seasons. The last 3-4 years have not been kind to Derek Brassard. He's now kind of like a third-line type player and nothing more. But he's still a good NHLer, and he's put a very solid career together. However, I don't think he was worthy of being a top 10 draft pick. We've seen how hard his career's fallen off, and I think that there were better players available. 6th overall should have been Jordan Staal, who originally went 2nd overall to Pittsburgh. We've already talked about his career numbers and how good and solid of an NHL career he has had. He, in this redraft, I think shouldn't have gone 2nd, but should have gone 6th overall to Columbus. He's definitely a better, more productive player than Derek Brassard, and has had an overall better career. So I think Jordan Staal at number 6 would have been the right choice. Number 7, pick number 7 now. We have Kyle Okposo, right wing, taken by the New York Islanders. And Okposo, similar to Derek Brassard, has gone on, was very good early in his career, and now has really fallen off a cliff over the last few seasons. But overall, he's had a very solid career. 800 games played, 196 goals, 310 assists, for 506 career points and a minus 113 career rating. Obviously, he's played on some very bad teams, which has hurt the plus-minus. good, solid career, but not worthy of being a top 10 draft pick, in my opinion. Pick number 7 should have been goaltender Semyon Varlamov, who originally went 23rd overall to the Washington Capitals. And Varlamov has become a very, very solid goaltender in the NHL, a great starting goalie. And goaltending was an issue for the New York Islanders for many, many years. They could, obviously, Rick DiPietro turned out to be an absolute disaster, and they could never really find a franchise goalie for a long time after that. So goaltending, it was an issue, and Varlamov could have been a steady starter for New York through many years where they did not have a steady starter. Varlamov started 470 games in his NHL career, going 232, 183, and 56, with a 2.67 goals against average and a .915 save percentage. Varlamov's never been one of those elite top tier, Vezina level goaltenders, but he's been a very, very solid goaltender for a long time, and he is now, ironically, with the New York Islanders, and their starting goaltender. He and Thomas Greiss kind of split starts, but he's with New York now. New York could have had him 7th overall in 2006, and he could have been their franchise goaltender for years to come. Pick number 8 was forward Peter Mueller, taken by the Phoenix Coyotes, and this was a big miss for the Coyotes, as Mueller only ever played 297 games in the NHL, scoring 63 goals, 97 assists for 160 points and a -35 rating. Obviously never came close to living up to being a top 10 draft pick. So who should they have taken at number 8? Left wing Nick Foligno, who originally went 28th overall to Ottawa in the real draft. He should have gone at number 8 here in this redraft. What a spectacular career, what a spectacular leader, and just great second-line level winger Nick Foligno has been throughout his career with Ottawa and now with Columbus. 908 career games played, 196 goals, 270 assists, 466 career points, and a -2 rating. Still an impact player for Columbus, captain of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Very, very important player. Absolutely love him. Huge respect for Nick Foligno, and I think he should have gone 8th overall to the Coyotes. Pick number 9, another player that never panned out for being a top 10 pick, James Shepherd, taken 9th overall by the Minnesota Wild. He was a forward, and he went on to play 394 games in the NHL, scoring 23 goals and 68 assists for 91 career points and a -38 rating, and he was really never more than a 4th liner. Obviously, that's not what you're looking for when you pick in the top 10. And that is where, at number 9, I think Erik Johnson should have gone. We talked about him earlier. We talked about his numbers. He originally went 1st overall to St. Louis. I don't think he ever lived up to being a 1st overall pick. However, I do think it would have been, perfectly fine for him to go at number 9 overall to Minnesota. I think that's where he should have gone. And, he still had a very, very good career. Maybe not 1 overall good, but he still should have been a top 10 pick. And finally, that brings us to pick number 10, which originally was Michael Frolik, right wing, went to the Florida Panthers. And he's gone on to have a very strong, solid NHL career. However, it's mostly been as like a third-line type player. He's played 850 games, scoring 159 goals, 225 assists for 384 career points and a +22 rating. He's been a solid secondary scorer for a long time in the NHL. Played with many different teams. He's played with Florida. He's played with Calgary. He's now with Buffalo. However, I don't think he was worthy of being a top 10 pick. Who should have gone number 10 overall? Forward Milan Lucic, who originally went 50th overall to the Boston Bruins in the 2nd round. He should have gone 10th overall, in my opinion. And yes, people now love to shit on Milan Lucic, love to make fun of Milan Lucic because he's really gone downhill recently the last few years. The offense has really gone away from him. But do not forget how good Milan Lucic was early in his career for the Boston Bruins. And even the year he had in LA, he had a 50-point season. He was a really good player. He had some spectacular NHL seasons. all while being one of the most dominant power forwards in the game, one of the toughest and most physical players in the league. Put up some great offensive numbers for many seasons, was consistently over 20 goals, even had a 30-goal season in there. I mean, Lucic was a really, really good player, and I think he should have went 10th overall. 958 career games played, 206 goals, 315 assists for 521 career points, and a plus 90 rating on top of it with over 1,100 penalty minutes and being one of the most powerful power forwards in the modern era in the NHL. Yes, Milan Lucic isn't very good anymore, but that doesn't mean he wasn't very good, and he was for a number of seasons in the league. And he should have gone 10th overall, in my opinion, in this redraft. He was a very, very good and important player for the Boston Bruins for many, many years. So over 500 career points, plus 90, almost 1,000 games played. Right, what he's doing right now doesn't represent Milan Lucic's career as a player. He was very, very good. But that does it, guys. That is our redraft for 2006. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Comment, share, everything to help this grow. Thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. Just keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much again for watching, and I'll be talking to you guys soon.